2.7, and the actually is a mirror. The Vikings also move at 2.7, so they're gonna get out of there. But yeah, not too much damage done. He did Valkryz did lose a little bit more in terms of units, but in terms of mining time, I think they're about even. So this game has kind of settled because Terran versus Terran is so defensive with the tanks. They're kind of forced to make these little drops here and there to see if we can harass and do indirect damage, because running into the main ball is actually quite suicidal. But, you know, Valkryz could prove me wrong. He is pushing out here with a sizable force. The Marauders do see the tanks. These tanks need to... Oh! And the tank was actually wrongly placed. It was in front of the army, and the siege tanks are going to push that back. There is one Marauder loss, but the rest of the Marauders are going to get healed up by the Medvacs, and so far, Valkryz is taking the bulk of the losses, but again, resources is similar, and you know, he did force Jix to move back. Looking at the income tab, still very similar, but notice that Valkryz is falling behind in the income because of this second expansion. Valkyr's expansion is moving out, but wow, he has actually 2 command centers, and he is actually trying to get the goal. But remember what I said about this SCV. This SCV, you know, is totally going to see that command center drop, and if Valkryz does drop a whole bunch of mules here, it's going to be very quickly denied, because there's no way Jix is going to let that stay up. So actually very good scouting, and on the right side we do see a counter drop with 4 very, very weak Marauders, but most likely going to try to pick off some workers. No, they are going to go for supply depots. Supply depots fall surprisingly quickly, and this drop is going to fail. The Vikings very quickly clean up the Medvacs. They are going to try to get a mule. They do get 1 mule, but that's all she wrote. So losing 4 Marauders and a Medvac, you're talking 500 minerals and almost 100 gas, and for a supply depot and a mule, totally not worth it. So it seems that Valkryz could be in the lead, because he is the one that's basically doing most of the damage, but this command center is not going to stay up very, very long, I don't believe. And yep, there is a counter drop going to be for that, and Jix himself is getting his 3rd expo. The 3rd expo is done for Valkryz, but he's only going to secure his natural with this. So since it's only going to be Marauders, he is not going to be able to take out the command center, but he is going to deny this expansion. Valkryz should be cancelling these. Yeah, he does cancel, and he's going to lose these SCVs and mules, but it's not really that big of a loss. You're losing maybe 100 minerals, but I would like to see Valkryz come over here, kill these rocks, and also mirror Jix and take his expansion, or he's going to fall behind. Looking at the units, amount of money spent, you know, you do see Jix is ahead, spending on army and spending on economy. So Jix is in a firm, no, I wouldn't say firm actually. I would say he is ahead in the food count, he is ahead in the army count, I believe. No, actually, he's dead even in the army count. But unless you see, it's Terran versus Terran. If they do get each other out of position, you can actually do a lot of damage really, really quickly because of these siege tanks. And actually, we do see a fusion core coming down from Jix, and the fusion core is already done for Valkryz. He is getting that Valkryz out, and look for some very key Yamato cannon blasts on tanks. That would really, really help. Actually, on the right, we do see another drop. There are 3 drop ships here with completely loaded with Marauders. They might be going for, again, maybe the supply depots. They could be going for workers, but this is almost mined out. Well, let's see. Here, Jix is going to go for supply depots again. These guys are going to snip and take out these supply depots really, really quickly, and they're going to move into the mineral line. We do see Valkryz is responding. These Medvacs are going to go down. Not sure if this is going to be worth it, but the Medvacs are falling. These Marauders can't shoot these Vikings down, and these Marauders are just sacrificial lambs. They are going to do as much damage as they can. They'll try to take down as much of the economy, but Jix is going to see more importantly that fusion core, and is going to try to take down that tank lab to delay production of the battle cruisers. What I think Jix was looking for was his fusion core. I think he was most likely in his head thinking, okay, I can get a drop, I can kill some supply depots, I can kill up critical tech units, and even though he did throw away 12 Marauders, looking at the incomes tab, he is very, very far ahead. So he can afford to waste army units if he feels he can get advantage. And oh no! Oh my goodness! Valkryz has actually clicked Marines and right-clicked on his command center thinking they were SCVs to repair, but Marines with their rifles, they can't repair. And there's so many SCVs here, and oh, I thought this guy was repairing. No, this command center might actually burn to death if Valkryz doesn't see it, this is actually very, very common in pro games, is because your micro is so hard, you're always looking at the front of your base, you only go back, and you don't, as a Terran, you don't even go to your main base anymore, because you just click you have all your command centers keyed, like he has his command centers keyed to 6, 7, and 8, and he just makes SCVs, he never even looks at his base, and the command center is dropping to 150 health, he might actually use it, and I think Valkryz knows that he is behind. He's only on one base. He most likely scanned this. Does he know that he has it? No, he only knows he has 2 base. But Jix is heavily ahead. And why would all the SCVs go? This is going to be an all-in push by Valkryz. He is using the command center to spot. And this is very important because he needs... Siege tanks have a range of 13, but you can only see a range of 9. So he needs something to spot for his siege tanks. But he only has... 2 tanks, so and all the SCVs are coming off of Valkryz. This is his all-in push, and there is another push. Probably going to go for that command. Going to go for the fusion core. He does go for the fusion core, but this is going to be the last blow. These battle cruisers need to be further behind because there are so many Vikings for Jix, and the Marines are going to try to focus down the Vikings, but it is not going to be enough. The battle cruisers are going to fall. The tanks are not sieging, and this has to be done because the battle cruisers are in the air. I'm looking at the units tab. Valkryz only has 2 more Marines, and they are dying. They are gone. There are no more Marines. There are no more anti-air. And what an opening game! It was completely mirrored until maybe about 10 minutes ago. But as I say, there is these critical plays that you make, and it sets all the difference for TVT. And look at how much damage these Marauders have done. Wow, Marauder drops to take out key tech buildings. That's really good play by Jix. Actually Valkryz tried to do that earlier, but this one tank here is being really annoying and actually denying that. This tank actually buys you time, because then the Marauders will either have to take A, damage from the siege tank, or B, they have to run up and kill the tank, giving you time to bring your army back and deal. So for the price of 1 tank, you actually get base control. For example, if Valkryz had 1 tank here, then the Marauders, if they wanted to snipe out supply depots, they would take maybe 3 to maybe 5 shells from the tanks. But wow, what a game, what a mirror. Actually, like as I said, up until 5 minutes ago, it was completely the same until the key micro plays, the pieces move across the chessboard, and the game completely went in Jig's favor. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to me. This is HD Phoenix. I will see you in game 2. See ya.